Chester W. Nimitz, United States Navy Fleet Admiral Mojha Eski. Complete story Botane AR Navy Mi KR, Mi Kia, Kaya Kaya SB, in English Chester William Nimitz, February 24, 1885. February 20, 1966, was a United States Navy Fleet Admiral who played a pivotal role in World War II as Commander-in-Chief, U.S. Pacific Fleet, leading the Allied forces to victory over Japan in the Pacific Theater. His strategic brilliance, leadership, and calm demeanor under pressure made him one of the most significant naval figures in American history. Below is a detailed account of his life, career, and contributions to the U.S. Navy ***, early life and background. Chester Nimitz was born in Fredericksburg, Texas, a small town settled by German immigrants. His father, Chester Bernhard Nimitz, died before he was born, leaving his mother, Anna, to raise him with the help of her father-in-law, Charles Henry Nimitz, a former merchant seaman who ran the Nimitz Hotel. Growing up in a landlocked town, young Chester initially aspired to join the U.S. Army, inspired by tales of the Texas Rangers. However, no appointments were available at West Point, so his grandfather's seafaring stories steered him toward the U.S. Naval Academy in Annapolis, Maryland. Chester W. Nimitz entered the U.S. Naval Academy in Annapolis, Maryland, in 1901, at age 15, driven by a lack of Army appointments at West Point and inspired by his grandfather's seafaring stories. Despite his youth and small-town Texas background, Nimitz thrived in the Academy's rigorous environment. Academic excellence, he excelled in mathematics, navigation, and engineering, graduating 7th in a class of 114 in 1905 at age 19. The Academy instilled discipline, teamwork, and strategic thinking, shaping Nimitz's calm and methodical leadership style. He participated in crew and other activities, building physical and mental resilience. Nimitz embraced the Navy's ethos of service, which guided his career. His early exposure to naval tactics and technology sparked a lifelong interest in innovation. Early career, 1905 to 1930. After graduating, Nimitz's early career was marked by diverse assignments, rapid learning, and growing responsibility. The stage for his later success, initial assignments, 1905 to 1908, USS Ohio Nimitz, began as an ensign on the battleship USS Ohio, serving in the Asiatic Fleet. He gained experience in ship operations and navigation during cruises in the Far East. Smaller vessels, he commanded the USS Panay, a gunboat in the Philippines, learning to lead small crews in challenging conditions. This honed his ability to manage resources efficiently. Destroyer Command. In 1907, he took command of the destroyer USS Decatur. In 1908, he ran the ship aground due to a navigation error, leading to a court-martial. He received a reprimand but was not discharged, learning critical lessons in accountability and precision. Submarine Service 1909-1913, pioneering submarines. Nimitz joined the nascent submarine service, commanding the USS Plunger SS-2, a primitive gasoline-powered submarine. Submarines were dangerous and experimental, but Nimitz embraced the challenge. Advocacy for diesel engines, recognizing the limitations of gasoline submarines. He studied diesel engines in Germany in 1913, becoming an expert. He pushed for their adoption, improving submarine safety and range. Flotilla leadership. By 1912, he commanded the Atlantic Submarine Flotilla, overseeing multiple boats. His technical expertise and cool-headedness earned him respect. Further. Education and assignments. 1910s-1920 Naval War College in the early 1920s. Nimitz attended the Naval War College, where he studied naval strategy, logistics, and Pacific warfare. War games simulating conflicts with Japan shaped his later strategies in World War II. Staff and command roles. He served as an aide to senior officers, commanded destroyers and submarines, and held posts at the Bureau of Navigation. These roles developed his administrative and diplomatic skills. USS Augusta, 1930, as commander of the cruiser USS Augusta, flagship of the Asiatic Fleet. Nimitz gained experience in high-level fleet operations and diplomacy in Asia, critical for understanding the Pacific Theater. Key characteristics and impact. Technical expertise. Nimitz's work with submarines and diesel engines showcased his ability to master complex systems. a skill vital for managing the Pacific Fleet. Resilience. The Decatur incident taught him to learn from mistakes, a trait that defined his adaptability during World War II. Leadership foundation. His early commands emphasized delegation, trust in subordinates, and meticulous planning qualities that became hallmarks of his wartime leadership. By the 1930s, Nimitz was a seasoned officer with expertise in submarines, surface ships, and strategy, poised for higher command. His early career built the skills that would make him a pivotal figure in the Navy. World War II Chester W. Nimitz as Commander-in-Chief. Pacific Fleet Chester W. Nimitz's tenure as Commander-in-Chief, U.S. Pacific Fleet SINCPAC, from December 1941 to the end of World War II in 1945, was a defining period in his career and a turning point in the Pacific theater. Appointed just days after the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor, Nimitz transformed a battered fleet into a dominant force, leading the Allies to victory over Japan through strategic brilliance, innovative tactics, and exceptional leadership. Below is a detailed account of his role and contributions during this period. Appointment and initial challenges. December 1941. On December 17, 1941, President Franklin D. Roosevelt selected Nimitz to replace Admiral Husband E. Kimmel as SINCPAC, promoting him to Admiral. Nimitz arrived at Pearl Harbor on December 25, 1941, to find a devastated fleet, 8 battleships sunk or damaged, numerous other ships destroyed, and morale at a low point. His immediate tasks were Nimitz addressed his officers and sailors with calm resolve, emphasizing recovery and counterattack. He famously stated, "We will do a lot with a little," signaling his intent to maximize limited resources. He retained capable officers, including Admiral William Bull Halsey, and prioritized repairing damaged ships, particularly aircraft carriers like USS Enterprise and USS Lexington, which would prove critical. Major contributions and campaigns. Nimitz's leadership was characterized by strategic foresight, effective delegation, and adaptability. His key contributions included orchestrating pivotal battles, implementing the island-hopping strategy, and coordinating massive naval and amphibious operations. Battle of the Coral Sea, May 1942. This was the first naval battle fought entirely by aircraft, with no ships directly engaging. Nimitz deployed carriers USS Lexington and USS Yorktown under Admiral Frank Jack Fletcher to block Japan's advance toward Port Moresby, Australia. The battle was tactically inconclusive. Lexington was sunk, and Japan lost a light carrier, but it halted Japan's southward expansion, protecting Allied supply lines. Nimitz's strategic oversight ensured the U.S. Navy learned valuable lessons in carrier warfare. Battle of Midway, June 1942. Widely regarded as Nimitz's greatest triumph and a turning point in the Pacific War, Midway showcased his strategic genius, using intelligence from Station HYPO, which had broken Japan's JN-25 code. Nimitz learned of Japan's plan to invade Midway Atoll and lure the U.S. fleet into a trap. Despite having only 3 carriers, Enterprise, Hornet, and Yorktown, against Japan's 4, Nimitz positioned his forces for an ambush, entrusting tactical command to Admirals Raymond Spruance and Fletcher. The U.S. sank all 4 Japanese carriers, Akagi Kaga, Soryu, and Hiryu, while losing Yorktown. This crippled Japan's carrier fleet and shifted the strategic initiative to the Allies. Nimitz's trust in intelligence and his subordinates was critical to this victory. Island hopping campaign. 1942 to 1945, Nimitz developed and executed the island hopping strategy, bypassing heavily fortified Japanese bases to capture strategically vital islands, isolating enemy strongholds, and advancing toward Japan. Key campaigns included Guadalcanal, August 1942, February 1943. Nimitz committed forces to seize Guadalcanal in the Solomon Islands, the first major Allied offensive. Despite fierce resistance and heavy losses, the campaign secured a critical airfield, marking a shift to offensive operations. Tarawa and Macon. November 1943. The invasion of Tarawa in the Gilbert Islands was costly, with over 1,700 U.S. Marines killed due to poor planning and strong defenses. Nimitz learned from these losses, improving amphibious tactics for future operations. Saipan, Tinian, and Guam, June-August 1944, capturing the Mariana Islands brought Japan within range of B-29 bombers. The Battle of the Philippine Sea, June 1944. Part of this campaign decimated Japan's naval air power in the Great Marianas Turkey Shoot. Leyte Gulf, October 1944, the largest naval battle in history, involving over 200 ships, saw Nimitz forces under Halsey and others destroy Japan's remaining naval strength. Securing the Philippines and cutting off Japan's oil supplies, submarine warfare, Nimitz prioritized submarine operations, which devastated Japan's merchant fleet and supply lines. By 1945, U.S. submarines had sunk over 50% of Japan's merchant tonnage, starving its war machine. Nimitz's emphasis on intelligence-guided patrols maximized their impact. Japan's surrender. September 1945, after the atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, Japan surrendered. On September 2, 1945, Nimitz signed the Instrument of Surrender. Aboard the USS Missouri in Tokyo Bay, alongside MacArthur, representing the U.S. Navy, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more military, Navy, and geopolitical updates.